Welcome to a new deep dive. Today, we're taking a fascinating journey into the world of a television drama that has truly captured hearts. Man Mast Malang.
It really has.
We've received this incredibly detailed review, just packed with insights and predictions. And, well, our mission today is to pull out the most compelling nuggets for you, really shed light on why this show has become such a phenomenon.
Yeah, what really stands out immediately, I think, is how this specific drama has, kind of transcended typical entertainment. It's become a bit of a cultural touchstone.
Hmm.
Our sources reveal not just what happens, but really why its particular narrative choices and these complex characterizations resonate so deeply with audiences.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We're going to explore everything from, the raw emotional core of Ruhi and Frok's story, right through to the surprising ways its key characters evolve.
And those changes are pretty significant.
Definitely. We'll dive into the recent plot twists that have sent ripples through the fan base, talk about how viewers are reacting, and then, yes, look at some intriguing predictions for what's coming next.
The prediction part is always fun.
It is. And we'll also give some, I think, overdue credit to the artistry behind the scenes that makes it all tick. This deep dive is really designed to offer you a shortcut to truly understanding the show's impact and appeal.
Sounds good. Where do we start?
Well, at its heart, Man Mast Malang tells a story that, okay, on the surface, might seem straightforward, but it's just absolutely brimming with raw emotion. It centers on Ruhi and Farouk, two individuals whose lives are intricately, almost, fatedly intertwined.
So what is it, do you think, that makes a seemingly simple premise like this so incredibly compelling, beyond just the basic plot points?
That's a really good question. I think for this drama, it's that unexpected twist on familiar themes you mentioned earlier.
Right.
The source really highlights how Ruhi, described as charming yet sort of broken inside, grapples with this internal conflict between love and this powerful desire for revenge.
And that's a potent mix.
It is. Then there's Farouk, who, despite being perceived as cruel by the world, is actually, well, rebellious and sensitive, yearning to understand love himself. It's that human struggle, I think, that hooks you.
Precisely. And it's this very blend of, let's say, conceptual simplicity with a deeply complex emotional and psychological execution that keeps audiences utterly glued to their screens.
Week after week, yeah.
The drama thrives on those moments of profound emotional vulnerability and the slow, deliberate reveal of deeper character layers, like Ruhi's mother's illness, Farouk's haunting past, or the painful unfolding truth about their connection. These aren't just plot points, they're emotional anchors.
Definitely anchors. Speaking of what truly brings Man Mast Malang to life, we absolutely have to dive into the characters next, don't we?
Absolutely, they're the soul of it.
They really are.
And one of the most fascinating aspects is how impeccably the actors embody these multifaceted roles. Take Ruhi, portrayed by Ikra Aziz. The review emphasizes how she brings Ruhi's strong yet broken spirit to life, conveying just profound pain, confusion, helplessness, all through her expressions. That depth isn't just good acting, it's what makes Ruhi's journey so intensely relatable. It's a major draw.
You feel it. And then there's Farouk, played by Ahad Razamir. He's this incredibly ambiguous figure, like a hero, a villain, and a victim all at once.
All rolled into one.
Yeah. The source praises how Ahad Razamir skillfully portrays him, making his silences, his anger, his restless energy feel incredibly real. It's an interesting challenge, isn't it, to make an audience root for someone so morally gray?
It truly is. And Farouk's sort of oscillating portrayal isn't just about keeping the audience guessing. I think it reflects a growing appetite among viewers for characters who defy traditional archetypes.
Good point.
It forces us to confront our own biases about good and bad and find humanity in the gray areas.
Yeah.
And we can't overlook Farouk's mother, played by Bushra Ansar.
Oh, definitely not.
She adds such significant emotional weight, embodying the universal mother figure, yet she's strikingly portrayed as a prisoner of her own ego. That internal conflict adds yet another layer of intrigue to the family dynamics.
And of course, we definitely can't forget Salman, the clear antagonist.
Oh, Salman.
Right. The review points out that his sheer duplicity has made viewers utterly despise him, which, ironically, is a huge success for the actor playing him.
Absolutely. It's a testament to a truly effective portrayal of a negative character when the audience is so invested in seeing their downfall.
So true. Okay, shifting gears a bit. The most recent 3 episodes. Wow. They really cranked up the tension, delivered some major plot twists. It felt like a significant turning point. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. You could
Yeah.
practically feel the narrative tension just ratcheting up in these episodes. They were crucial, I think, in accelerating the plot and maybe more importantly, in finally revealing true intentions.
Yeah.
We saw Farouk finally express his love for Ruhi, but then with that agonizing dramatic timing.
Right, when he does.
Exactly. Yeah. Ruhi discovers Salman's manipulative schemes at that exact moment. Just brutal timing.
And the fallout was huge. Rudy, doubting Farouk, then refused to marry him, swayed by her mother's advice. That was a real gut punch for viewers, I think, especially after Farouk's confession.
Indeed. And these episodes really laid the groundwork for a major confrontation. You've got Salma's forceful plan to marry Ruhi, Farouk's increasing desperation.
Something's got to give.
Exactly. They not only stirred up all this emotional turmoil, but also definitively exposed the true nature of each character. It forced the audience, really, to reevaluate their perceptions. It solidified who stands where.
So with all that brewing, what does this all mean for the fans? The source mentions the audience reaction has been quite mixed, a real conversation starter online.
Yeah, that mixed feedback is incredibly typical, actually, for popular dramas nearing pivotal points like this.
Right.
If you dive into social media comments, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you see a clear pattern. Most people are deeply connected to Ruhi's emotional journey. Her pain is their pain. But Farouk's complex personality has everyone puzzled, constantly asking, why is he like that? What's his deal?
Lots of questions there.
Loads. And Salman's character, he's clearly ignited a strong sense of anger among the fan base. People want justice.
Understandably.
So audience expectations are running sky high. There's a palpable sense of anticipation, I think, for what the upcoming episodes will deliver.
Okay, now for the part many of you are likely most curious about, the predictions. Our source dives deep into what might happen next, based on the narrative threads we've seen so far.
All right, this is where we get to, apply some critical thinking to the story arc. The review strongly suggests that Ruhi and Farouk's love could reunite.
Okay.
But likely only after some significant dramatic event. Maybe Farouk being attacked or even arrested.
Whoa, okay. That would certainly be a high-stakes turning point.
Definitely dramatic. And it looks like Salman's truth is about to be exposed, which, like we said, is something many viewers are clamoring for.
Thank goodness, maybe.
The prediction here is quite specific. Maybe he's already married. Or perhaps some other secret relationship comes to light. Something damaging.
And the fallout from that revelation for Ruhi and her choices, that will be immense.
Huge. Another strong prediction is that Ruhi's mother's illness might suddenly worsen.
Oh, no.
Yeah, plunging Ruhi into another emotional storm, which could force her hand in completely unexpected ways. Maybe push her towards or away from Farouk again.
And what about Farouk's past? Still so murky. The review hints at maybe a secret sister or perhaps a former lover.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, which could introduce a whole new, unexpected dynamic to the story, potentially complicating his relationship with Ruhi even further.
And to top it all off, it's predicted that before the story reaches its ultimate conclusion, we're likely going to see another major misunderstanding between Ruhi and Farouk.
Oh, come on, just when you think they might figure it out.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it isn't just to stretch the plot, I think.
Yeah.
It's designed to emotionally shake the audience one last time,
Yeah.
Ensure that intense emotional investment remains high until the very end. Keep people hooked.
Keeps you on the edge of your seat, that's for sure. Okay, beyond the gripping story and these captivating characters, our source material also gives us a fascinating peek into the remarkable production value of Mann Mast Malang. It's clearly more than just great acting going on here.
Oh, absolutely. The direction in particular deserves significant commendation. The camera work, the astute choice of locations, the skilled use of lighting, these are all specifically praised. And these aren't minor details. These elements profoundly elevate the entire viewing experience. They make the world of the drama feel richer, more immersive, and just deeply authentic.
You feel like you're there. And the dialogues, they're described as deeply impactful, especially those conversations between Ruhi and Farouk. They resonate so powerfully with the audience.
They really do.
Often providing those lines that just stick with you long after the episode ends.
Absolutely. Dialogues are, they're the foundation of character expression and plot progression, and here they seem masterfully crafted.
Yeah.
And finally, the background music. particularly in the more sorrowful scenes. It just perfectly enhances the emotional weight of each moment.
Sets the mood perfectly.
Exactly. Even the title track has become incredibly popular, serving as this sort of auditory reminder of the show's emotional depth. It all works together, really.
Yeah.
A true testament to the production team's artistry, creating a cohesive and deeply moving experience.
Well said. And that wraps up our deep dive into Mann Mast Malang. We've explored its compelling story, the nuanced characters driving it, the latest twists that have everyone talking, and what might be coming next, all through the lens of an incredibly insightful review.
We really hope this deep dive has given you a richer understanding of not just the drama itself, but also the universal themes it explores: love, betrayal, destiny, and maybe why they resonate so broadly.
Yeah, this drama, like so many powerful stories that become these cultural touchstones, it connects deeply because it holds a mirror up to complex human emotions and choices. So as you reflect on this deep dive, maybe consider this. What does the immense popularity of a story like Man Mast Malang tell us about what audiences truly crave in their entertainment today? And perhaps, what does it tell us about the universal human desire to understand the messy, beautiful complexities of relationships and fate?
Something to think about.